we are given extract 2 of the short story The Wind and a Boy, and now here we are going to answer the questions based on it. So we are given the extract 2 and it says the death of Friedman. Underneath it reads, can't you return those words back? She turned away from them, either to collect her wits or the few possessions she had brought with her. Her feet and buttocks quivered anxiously as she stumbled towards her hut. Then her feet tripped her up and she fell to the ground like a stunned log. The people of Rasafitamulimu buried the boy Friedman, but none of them would go near the hospital where Sejosini lay. The stories brought to them by way of nurses were too terrible for words. They said the old woman sang and laughed and talked to herself all the time, so they merely asked each other, have you been to see Masejosini? I am afraid I cannot. It would kill my heart. 2 weeks later, they buried her. It was a village habit. The incident was discussed thoroughly from all sides till it was understood. In this timeless, sleepy village, the goats stood and suckled their young ones on the main road or lay down and took their afternoon nap there. The motorist either stopped for them or gave way, but it appeared that the driver of the truck had neither brakes on his car nor a driving license. Okay, so we go to question 5.2.1. Now we have 5.2.1 here, and it says, choose the correct answer to complete the following sentence. And it say, in this line, it says refer to line 1, and it says can't you return those words back? And here it says, in this line the speaker is talking to A, Friedman, B, the police, C, herself, and D, her grandson. So here she is talking to the police, so the best answer here would be B. And now we have 5.2.1 at B. The question at B. Let me restart this. So we have 5.2.1 and we have A, of which the answer is B. And now we have question B. Now question B says, explain what this line tells us about Sejosini's state of mind. Well, we can say that she is shocked, or maybe you can say that she is devastated, and you can also say that she is heartbroken. Okay, now we have question C, and it says, what does this line reveal about Sejosini and Friedman's relationship? Give a reason for your answer. You can here say that they are very close, and you can say that we see that in the way they work together, in the fields, or the way Friedman asks for a bicycle so as to assist Sejosini with chores. Or you can also say that when Sejosini defends Friedman. Okay, so now we go to 5.2.2. It says refer to lines 4 to 5 and identify the figure of speech used in these lines. So we have lines 4 to 5, and it says, then her feet tripped her up and she fell to the ground like a stunned log. So the figure of speech used in this line is a simile. So this is A, and we have a simile. This is because we see this through the usage of the word like. Okay, now we have question B, and it says, explain why the figure of speech is effective in this extract? Well, we can say Sejong Senior's fall due to shock is compared to the fall of a log because it was without any attempt to break that fall. Okay, so now we have 5.2.3. It says refer to lines 8 to 9, and now question is saying, why is the old woman doing all these things? Let's go to lines 8 to 9. Line 8 says the stories brought to them by way of nurses were too terrible for words. They said the old woman sang and laughed and talked to herself all the time. So it says here, why is the old woman doing all these things? Well, we can say it is because she is experiencing the trauma of losing her grandson, which is too much for her. So she consequently loses her mind and ends up doing all these things. Okay, let's go to the next question, 5.2.4, and it says here, refer to line 15. Explain the irony in the above statement considering how Friedman dies. Let's go to line 15. Line 15 says, the motorist either stopped for them or gave way. Okay, so let's explain the irony in the line. We can say that the sudden and tragic death of Friedman from being knocked over by a car is ironic because drivers stop for goats, but it was not to be for Friedman. Okay, now let's go to the next question. The next question says, one of the themes in this story is change and modernity. Discuss this theme. Okay, let's clear up some of these things here so we can have some space to answer this question. So it says the theme is change and modernity, and let's discuss the theme. So we have question 5.2.5 here. Whenever you're asked to discuss a theme, you must give it in paragraph form. Okay, so we can now say that the community of Rasifita Molemo is experiencing change in many ways. You can say that there is political change, economic change, and social change. Okay, so this leads to a change in morality as people want to transition from being poor and mediocre to being rich and powerful without considering values and discipline in their ways of change. Okay, now we have question 5.2.6. Question 5.2.6 says that refer to the story as a whole. The story of Robinson Crusoe makes Freedman a better person. Discuss your view. Okay, so when you're asked to discuss a question or discuss a statement, you must first indicate whether or not you agree. So let's start with the agreement part. We have 5.2.6 and let's say yes. Now let us substantiate our answer. We can say that Freedman developed a new desire to assist people since the character of Robinson Crusoe, Robinson, had a duty to help people. He also noticed, or he also once saved people of his community from the mice that had been washed away in a storm and also helped the mice by not killing them, but by taking them back to the wild. As a result of Robinson Crusoe's character, you can say when Freedman asked for a bike, so as to assist Sejoseye He might have been influenced by the character of Robinson Crusoe. Okay, now we continue. And now let's go to the no. Let's go to answering the question but disagreeing with it. Okay, now we indicate here that no. So we can say that Friedman may have gone too far with his risk-taking behavior as it might have caused him to be daring in front of a truck, resulting in his death. He also used his courageous behavior for the not so good activities like being naughty. This does not make him a better person. Okay,